Alright, welcome back in to a themed build this time. I did the best I can with the tools we have available to us to recreate the Eve Online Caldari Charon. It is their freighter. This is a freighter, and I will show you what I mean by that. This is being built to relocate your entire base in one shot as a fast travel. It is not really meant to be flown from place to place, but it does have weapons. It can defend itself if you need to. However, if you're going to build it, you might consider just not having any weapons, maybe not even have a shield, and just literally fast travel from, find the place, set yourself up, and then fast travel. It saves a lot of money. Weapons on this are quite pricey. So it's really difficult to do like a bladed edge, like a V shape on its side. But I did the best of what I could. It has a pretty decent profile. Um, for the ship, one side of it is certainly fatter than the other side. Then you have these three bands on it. I actually only have 5 of the 6 engines, with one being a Class B, the other being Class A's, and then Class C for the reactor and grav drive. And it came out pretty well. It's not exactly, but it is in the spirit of the Charon. And boy, it can hold a lot. It's nowhere near the capacity of the probably the best ship I've seen. He calls it the Homey Depot. Look it up. You'll love it. Uh, it's a Home Depot themed huge ass cargo ship that's just hilarious. So let us take a look here, see some stats of this, and then we will take a hop inside. So you can see right now, this is before I step inside of it. So with Sam and with maxed out cargo or payload, whatever it is on your talents, I'm almost exactly at 75,000, and the physical ship has like 50k or something like that. Huge amount of damage output, just absolutely ridiculous. And everything can be powered all at once except the grav drive, and taking like say maybe 1 power from this, and all of these can all be fully powered. 26 light year. I'm not terribly happy that puts you out of, I think, 4 systems. There's one system that's 24 or 27 points, like 4.6, and then I think there's 3, maybe 4 systems that are just over 26 light years. So it is going to hamper you from a couple. The easy way to fix that is pick a set of 3 of these and change it to the Stroud 3-piece cowl that only weighs 10. You'll lose a crap load. You lose 3,000 cargo, but you'll drop all the weight and you'll be able to hit 28 light years easy. I would also suggest, if you were going to build this from literally a point-to-point site transfer, don't put any weapons on it. These weapons are all crazy expensive. Like, they're stupid money. And I don't even have the Vanguard Obliterators on this. I went with the straight up the 300s for both set of weapons. It's just so much money. Of course, getting big class. So I don't have the 40, and that's because I wanted this more squared look so that it fit with the overall shape of the ship. But it is the biggest grav drive. It's the lightest of the 50s that they make. The other ones have a little bit more grav drive health, whereas this is the same in both. So there's 150, or 1B, excuse me, and the others are Class A's. It has no mobility. It flies very well in a straight line. It's about 213, 218, something like that, at full engine in a straight line, and it turns in a straight line too. Yep, zero mobility sucks, but that's why all the auto turrets are facing back. So You got 4 of the big boy auto. These alone will just nuke most ships by themselves, and they're all facing backwards. So you got yours facing forward, and then you're fine on the rest. I just have a little bit of decoration on the side because we can't, on the Caldari Charon, it comes not exactly to a point, a little rounded point, comes back down. We obviously can't do that. There is no way to do that. And I did my best to represent the antenna that sticks out. And then the blasphemy, people are going to burn me at the stake for using this bridge. It's the Kontiki. It's the only one that looked pretty close to pretty close to what it was. I tried the Stroud one. I even tried to glitch the Stroud cockpit onto here because it also has a fairly square appearance, and it won't. It just absolutely refuses to glitch on top no matter what I tried. I'm sure there is a way, and I'm just not doing it right, but yeah, I couldn't get it to work. So it is what it is. This is all straight 2x2s and 2x3s. There's no small hab on this. It's all thick habs. This whole thing is thick habs, except for this guy that you come into. You could move this in so you can even get rid of this guy right here and come straight up into the mess hall. The problem is, how do you enter it? Because all of this is too low for you to walk underneath it. So you'd have to gut a lot of this right here, which means you're going to have to add more. I'm at the bare minimum. In fact, I had to add this landing gear here, which looks like it's a single, but it's the same one, just a different shape. And I'm at the minimum. I can't, at 10,000 mass, I cannot have any less of these landing gear. If you're fine with having one less 210 tank, I have 2 for 420. If you're fine with one less tank, put another gear here. You can push this into here. Unfortunately, that drops 2 of the gears. You would put those 2, bring them out here. You'd lose this gear, this storage. I'm sorry. You'd lose this gear. You'd bring all this in. So you would move this back. You'd still have one of the 210 tanks. Your other option, instead of having I have a little bit of extra storage here and here. You could do the single side tanks on both of these. What are they? 100. The cylinders, and that would get you a little bit more if you wanted to have this further in and just come straight in. Because right now you come into this and then walk in. I don't find it a problem. I think it fits well with the shape, but you may want it differently. So there's your stats on it. I did go with the Class B, the Vanguard. The C drops it down below 26. I'm just like, okay, that's enough. I'm not going lower than 26. That's kind of my absolute minimum. I like to keep it at 28, but still 1450 is plenty. 42.8 is your untalented, no SAM, no perks type of cargo, so it's massive. Huge hull, huge everything, and this thing costs a lot of money. This is not a cheap build. This is the build that you've been playing a long time, you got money, you don't know what else to spend it on, and crap, you found a better place for your base, and you don't want to make 15 trips to move your whole base there. That's what this is for. And you obviously wouldn't have to make it look like the Caldari Charon. So you come in straight. We have one window here.
Is there a way to go faster than the speed of light? And none of that grav tech cheating?
You've got just one door. That's it. There's your dock to go up. This is your mess hall. And it doesn't matter which habs you use. I was at Nova because I needed their landing gear. Use whatever habs in whatever configuration that works for you. I just happen to use, this is the Nova all-in-one 2x2. The one that has kind of a weird corner. It's got a bathroom. Got some beds. Even the mess hall has a bathroom. Somewhere. I know I saw it.
Hi.
There it is.
How are you?
So you got a
Very good to see
bathroom in the mess hall.
Glorious
Plenty of
day,
places for
don't you
the crew to hang out, do whatever they're doing while you're, relocating the entire contents of your base to another place. This is their battle stations, which is a weird battle stations in my opinion. However, some people might like it. And then the thing that's going to get me the most hate comments this time. The bridge nobody likes. I don't really like it either. I do like the Hope Tech bridge, but it doesn't look right with that kind of narrowed V-looking front. So there's all that for you. I'll be back with you in just a moment. We will do a teardown video. There's not much to it. It's pretty much all storage units, but we'll be right back. Alright, let's take a look at this thing from a building perspective. So I would suggest if you're going to build this, just start at Nova. So go to Titan and Sol and start at Nova because it's going to require this landing gear. You could maybe get away with some of the other landing gear by pushing this up a little taller, actually having gear under here that connects to the side, because these do have side snaps. So landing gear that connects to this that are underneath that, you could probably, drop these down, push this up one level. You're going to get into some issues with having ladders if you do all that. So I would suggest just straight up go to Nova, get these. You will be happy for it. I ended up having to add a single over here. You just, well, it's not going to let me do it because they don't sell here. Yeah, that was not smart because now it's not connected. In any case, you take this, you right arrow or hit Z till you get to this one. There's two different types. There's a pointed one for like a frontal, then this mid, and then this big boy. They're all the same thing. So then we have these guys. Now I went with the 1000s instead of the 1280s because they weigh less. They weigh quite a bit less, but it's still a lot of cargo space. I have only found these at Nova. So where else are they? I don't know. There is a version of these that are Tayo, they're 1200, that we can get here in the builder at your outpost, but you can't get the 1000s. It's not the same thing. It's not the 30T, 40T like you get there. Tayo is its own monster. So I like these because they have multiple snap points. They just don't have a top snap point, which arguably kind of sucks. It limits you, but it's a very clean look when you don't have that top snap. Anyways, shield cargo, and it's tucked right in. This thing fits about right there, so it's 240 shielded, tucked right in. You can buy this here at your own outpost. I went with the Hope landing bay mostly because it has the same profile. With the exception of one of them, all the other ones are narrowed, so it doesn't quite look right. It doesn't give the same ship line, so that it doesn't look like there's a big hole right here where you're walking into the cargo bay. Landing bay, excuse me. But it is what it is. And it's literally just cargo hold, cargo hold, cargo hold. I mean, it's just almost as many of them as I could fit until I kept having to add things like more landing gear. Engines in the back on the first level we are using. Now this is for that look, because if you see how this follows this line, reasonably so, the B version, which still is the SAE engine, but the B version doesn't change. You can't get this sloped, otherwise I would have used all Bs for the much higher thrust. It is what it is. I went for an aesthetic over function, because the whole point is you're shoving a bunch of crap in this, you're hitting your map, and you're going straight to the other place without even hitting space. I realize it's all Starfield space magic by doing that, but that's the whole point of this. So I preferred the look over the function, if that makes sense. The form over the function. Then you have big boy grav drive, but it's the lightest weight of the 3 Class C 50 grav drives. Well, technically the most heavy doesn't have a 50; they have a 45. And then you have the 38 reactor because I wanted this squared off look. The other 2 that are 40, they have that, one of them's like a dodecagon or something like that, hexagon, something like that, and the other one's just like sphere with a nozzle in the back, which probably would have looked cool on it, but to power, I'm not missing it. So, I mean, I could have put one more into one of the weapons and then had one permanently in the grav drive. Cool. I'm not planning on going out and fighting, even though it can fight. So, and then you have the 2 helium tanks for 420. So over here, I just have the largest capacity, smallest side cargo. So the what are they called? Saddlebags. The smallest that I could get, but the largest capacity, and they needed to be smaller in depth than these, so you couldn't see them as much when you're looking at it. Just to get that much little extra, you know, I was pushing for this number to be as high as humanly possible. So now we go to the main deck. So this is just a singular ladder, 1 door in. And then, of course, door here, door there. There are no ladders in the ship itself. So you don't have to climb up or down anything. You come up to, you pick whatever you want to pick. I chose the Deimos because, again, it has that kind of angular look to it. It's not perfect, but it's close enough. I only picked the Novas because I was at Nova getting the landing gear, and I'm like, well, I need to fill all these up anyway, so screw it, I'll just put these on here. Pick whichever one you like. Pick whichever configuration you like. It's all up to you. Do what you want. Have a couple 2x3s or 3x2s, excuse me, and then something else. Have the have less of this. Have a 3x2, a 3x2, and then you have these 2 spots to put the 2-story, the cylinder fuel, and then you could stick another landing gear, and then you can change things around, do whatever you want. So it gives you options. I do have a little bit of top portholes so that you can see what's going on, but I went with a mess hall, I went with an all-in-one, and I went with a battle stations. Again, I don't really care for this battle stations in particular. I don't really care for any of these habs in particular, but like I said, I was there. So, whole bunch more of the storage. These are just the top version. So, grab it, hit Z, change it, and there you go. Snap it on there, and it gives you that kind of corner V look. And it's a whole bunch of these too. And then you go with the big boys, the 1480s, and I got a whole bunch of those. And that's this level, and then I got even more of them on the top. Engine-wise, we have the 1B, the SAEB, and then you've got the 4330 top to its bottom. So on the Caldari Charon, one side is larger than the other side, and I do mean the literal side. So that's why this only has 2 engines over here, but it has 3 engines on this side. Now, it does also have engines in the middle as well, but we can't put more than 6 engines total, so it wouldn't have worked. I stuck these guys out here to act as the antenna, the various antenna that stick off the front of the Charon. It's not exactly correct, but it works okay. And then stuck some weapons on it, so I didn't have weapons all over this. I didn't want them all running down the side. I didn't want even more on the top, because it already doesn't look right having the weapons on the top. You know, you do what you do. I would have had them all along here if I had top mounts, or if I had side mounts. I might have put one after the other there, but these, this gives you some forward firing so that you can deal with enemies before you come in. I forgot to mention I have this over here on the bottom. This is that small little nubule on the bottom of the front of the Charon that actually has a piece that sticks down. This is the closest thing I could come up with that looks like that. It doesn't exactly, but as close as I could figure out. So now on to top. Once again, same thing. We got the 1000s, the 30Ts, whole bunch of them. You do have the Docker. Same thing on this. I went with this Docker because, one, I don't have to climb up into it, and two, it has that similar slope, so it works. This is the top section of the 4330, and then I have the PBO 300s for the turrets. They're all facing back, so 4 turrets facing backwards. I have all the candy that you get from these two from Crimson Fleet. And then I have the Multi-Freak here. And then I went with the Vanguard Shield just because if I try to put at 10,072 mass, if I try to put the C on there, it drops me to 25 range, and I'm not going to do it. And then I have one of the PB300s facing forward. These are what I fire manually. And then the thing everybody's going to burn me to the ground because I put on here. It's funny. I needed something to fit on here that similarly looked like it was part of the, the size, the shape, everything. And it was the only thing I could get. If I could have put the Stroud on here, it would have fit in the 2 space, but try as I might, I could not glitch it on there. And even then, we would have had one ladder to climb right here. So, it's unfortunate that I ended up that way, but it is, kind of what it is. So, let's hit escape to go back to... Woo! We're all built all of a sudden. And there's what she looks like. Get that off of there. I like it. It's a pretty... I played Eve for a lot of years. It was my first MMO. And I think, minus the fact that it even has weapons on it, I think it's a pretty reasonable rendition. I mean, obviously, the Charon fully talented, or fully spec'd out has like 1 million storage, but we're not getting anywhere like that in this game. But yeah, it works. The 3 ribs worked out pretty well. It's definitely a unique ship. It's kind of out of the box. I mean, we still have engines facing backwards. We still have weapons facing forwards, sort of, some back. Still have a cockpit on it somewhere. But it's at least a little... We still, still have this on the bottom. It's at least a little different. Alright. I'm going to cut it from here. I don't really need to show you that speed is about 213, 218 fully talented with Sam, but it takes forever to speed up to that, and boost only gets to like 348 or so. So boost is terrible, and it turns like a truck. I mean, it turns like a freight train. It does not turn, essentially. It turns in a straight line. That's the best way to put it. So this is straight up for hopping one planet or moon to the next planet or moon directly without flying there. Alright, thanks for watching. Hope you liked it.